Welcome back to KGSM-TV. I'm Reese Payne.
And I'm Ashley Luthons. In this show, we'll have coverage over the Wounded Warriors Luncheon, the new Toe Beans coffee shop, and our usual top stories and history segment. And Harry and Kanan will wrap up the show with the Griffin Sports Update.
This past weekend, our own reporter, Ashley Luthons, was able to go to New York City and attend the dress rehearsal for Saturday Night Live.
Here I am outside Rockefeller Center, home to NBC Studios. Tonight, Travis Kelce hosts Saturday Night Live.
Live from New York, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce hosted Saturday Night Live on March 4th. Kelce proved to be a very entertaining host, making the audience laugh the entire time he performed. This reporter was lucky enough to win the SNL lottery and was given 2 tickets to the dress rehearsal of Travis Kelce's show. Once at Rockefeller Center, attendees are escorted to a waiting room and are greeted with complimentary beverages. Music is played and guests are welcome to interact and communicate. Attendees are also invited to witness the history of Saturday Night Live via photos throughout the building. The show itself was chaos, but in the best way. Tons of people work in the studio in order to make a live sketch show run. After 2 hours of laughing and having a good time, the audience left SNL feeling as though they had a life-changing experience. A show with so much history is very cool to see live, and this reporter hopes to return soon. Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Ashley Luthons.
The SNL lottery opens in August for anyone interested in attending.
This past week, our reporter Reese Payne attended the Wounded Warriors Lunch and Learn. With over 100 student veterans on campus here at Missouri Western, it is important that they are aware of the resources that are available to them after serving for our country. Wounded Warriors offered a free lunch and learn session on March 7th in Eder Hall. During this lunch and learn, student veterans were educated on the resources and compensation they are offered by the Wounded Warriors Foundation. The Center for Military and Veterans Service encourages all student veterans to attend the next lunch and learn that the Wounded Warriors are putting on in the near future. Missouri Western offers great resources for our student veterans on campus. Wounded Warriors will have another lunch and learn session soon, and they encourage all student veterans to attend. We'll be right back after this break.
A leading problem I've faced is a misunderstanding on the part of students of the importance of academic advising. They miss appointments. They don't make appointments. But what's most disappointing is when they come unprepared. Give me a student with a plan in their head, or better yet, on paper. We could talk about their interests, not just about their classes. We could discuss internships, classwork, grad programs. It would open the door to what advising is truly about.
Can I help you?
But instead, they come to me in a panic when they need to register because...
I need to talk to you. I was trying to register for my classes, but it wouldn't let me do it because I need my PIN, and I haven't had time to set up an advising, so I don't even know what classes I need to take, so I just signed up for a bunch of random ones, and I'm going to drop them later. So can I have my PIN real fast? Because I'm still logged into a computer in the lab. Am I interrupting?
Take ownership of your education. Make the most of your advisement by being proactive, punctual, and prepared. You'll open the door to more personalized attention and avoid costly setbacks. It's never too soon to begin planning your next steps at Missouri Western.
Welcome back. This week, one of our own reporters drove to downtown St. Joseph in search of a new local business. Zoe Jane has the story.
Want to know of a new business in town where the coffee is sweet, but the customers are sweeter? Well, that's here at the Toe Bean Coffee House.
This newly opened cafe has delicious drinks and treats to offer its customers, both people and pets. When you purchase items from Toe Bean's Coffee House, you are not only supporting a local business, but donating funds to help sheltered animals near and far.
The purpose of Toe Bean's Coffee House was to kind of merge my own loves in life plus some needs in the community. I have a background in a lot of nonprofit work, so that's really important to me. I have 3 dogs, they're kind of taking over my life. It's fun. And then I know there's a lot of different strays and problems in St. Joseph with, just the amounts of like what the shelter takes on, and helping to bring some of that awareness and help them monetarily through some of our programs, and then have the public learn some about like how their programs work, the foster care, some of the behind the scenes things.
Parks recognizes the responsibilities that come with being a pet owner, and that so many animals don't have the luxury of living anywhere other than a shelter or on the streets. So she takes pride and precedence in helping these animals in shelters through her shop.
I think it's important to, pets are not just like, something that you take lightly in life. Like they're going to be around for 15 some years in some cases. So I'm always that like advocate for them. Like it's a serious responsibility. You can't just like, oh no, I don't want this dog anymore. Like drop it off at a shelter. That happens a lot though.
The space is very cute and cozy with indoor and outdoor seating. However, there are some rules to abide by for health and safety purposes.
So right now, with how the building is set up and health codes in the state of Missouri, we do right now have mostly pet-free space. So obviously with ADA, service animals are allowed inside, no question, it's totally fine. Any other pets can come in for to-go orders or enjoy our outside seating. They just can't stay inside the building and sit and stay like at our tables and sofa and stuff like that for mostly allergen health code reasons, because I serve food out of the same space that you sit in. So my future plans is to expand and have a separate area that you can, sit and enjoy and stay with your pet. But right now, with our space concerns, that's not quite possible yet.
Some locals have already fallen in love with the place and hope to see it thrive.
I've been to this joint for 16 years.
Yeah.
This is the best configuration I've seen.
Thank you.
Really.
Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Zoe Jane.
Thank you, Zoe. If you want to go to Toe Beans Coffee House, their business is open Thursday through Monday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Follow them on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook at Toe Beans Coffee St. Joe.
This week, Reese joined the Exercises Medicine team at the 3v3 basketball tournament. Here's what the tournament looked like.
On Wednesday night, Exercises Medicine hosted a 3v3 basketball tournament in Looney Hall. Over 8 different teams joined this tournament to showcase their hooping skills. Exercises Medicine hosts events like these to encourage students to get out of their dorms and to be active. The 3v3 tournament was a great time, and they are planning on hosting another one here soon in April.
It's a good time getting out of here, get out of the dorms, get out of the house, go out and play with the rest of the students, people you don't be around all the time, so good times for sure.
The winning team included Michael Haggerty, Ty Harvey, and Brecken Manis. They won over 7 games at this tournament and showed absolute dominance.
Hey, we came in, we got the job done. Breck's got something to say.
Prove the haters wrong.
Prove the haters wrong.
We're all there.
We want Auburn next. We want Auburn.
For KGSM-TV. Respect.
Looks like we have some people on campus who can play ball. Make sure to keep up with Exercises Medicine and join them at their next event.
A new movie was released on February 7th and has now grossed a little over $55 million at the box office worldwide. This film is about a bear that accidentally ingests and becomes addicted to cocaine. This film was loosely based on true events, as amusing as this tale seems. Let's talk about what really happened. In December of 1985, a pilot by the name Andrew Thornton II, a former narcotics officer and convicted drug smuggler, removed cocaine from his plane due to the weight being too much for the plane to hold. He also jumped from his aircraft with a faulty parachute and tragically died. 3 months later, in northern Georgia, the bags that had stored the cocaine were found next to 175-pound dead black bear. Sadly, the black bear had ingested around 75 pounds of cocaine and passed away. This bear is now on display in Lexington, Kentucky, where they dubbed the creature Cocaine Bear. Stay tuned after the break for top stories and this week's history segment.
Missouri Western is home to the Walter Cronkite Memorial. The memorial is home to 8 of his Emmys, as well as exhibits showcasing caricatures, space exploration, his wife Betsy Maxwell Cronkite, timelines of his career, and a replica of his CBS newsrooms that visitors can interact with. We invite all of you to explore the Cronkite Memorial. Self-guided tours are available Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The Missouri Department of Conservation is located on Missouri Western's campus at 701 James McCarthy Drive. All you have to do is open the door and walk in. Once in, you will see all the sorts of animals, live animals, and rawr. Anyways, here's another snake. And a fish, so cute. Outside, you can see ponds, trees, and walking trails. There are even activities for kids. Stop by sometime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Go Griffs!
Welcome back, everyone. This week, there were some crazy things going on around the country. Here's a look at some of the top stories from this week. On Tuesday, March 7th, running back Joe Mixon, who plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, fired shots outside of his house in Cincinnati. According to ESPN, these shots were fired at kids who were having a Nerf war outside of his house. It was dark outside, and Mixon believed that they were grown-ups who were playing with real guns. The situation is still under investigation. Recently in Palestine, Ohio, there was a train derailment and fire that caused much danger for the residents. After the fires in East Palestine, there were massive smoke clouds that were floating around that contained dangerous dioxins. These dioxins are toxic chemicals known for causing cancer, disrupting the immune system, and cause reproductive problems. The issue has caused towns in this area to completely relocate while the city decontaminates the area. Stay tuned for more top stories next week here at KGSM-TV.
In honor of Women's History Month, today we look at Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani woman who is one of the most prominent feminist activists of our century. Malala was born in 1997 in Pakistan and was subject to misogyny in her community, especially from the Taliban, who overtook her town in 2008. Malala began to speak out for women's rights to education and was shot in the head in 2012. Malala survived the assassination attempt and went on to create the Malala Fund charity, earning her the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. Malala is the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize and the second Pakistani to be awarded the honor. Malala continues to fight for the girls' right to education. Malala is an inspiration for girls all around the world. After the break, Harry and Kanan will talk all things about Griffin sports.
Hello, welcome to the esports arena. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, so you're just letting everyone in? Yeah.
Looking for a place to hang out, game, or just relax? The Griffin Esports Arena is open to all students. Head on over today.
(2,900) home clothes dryer fires are reported each year and cause an estimated 5 deaths, 100 injuries, and $35 million in property loss. When we hear the words home fire prevention, we often think of lit candles, grease fires, and electrical fires. However, one of the most common house fires comes from unclean dryer vents. Dryer lint is highly flammable. It is recommended the dryer vents are cleaned every 6 months. Call your local HVAC services or fire department for more information on how to clean your vents.
Welcome into KGSM Sports. I'm Kanan Bielwatz.
I'm Harry Loomis, and the MIAA basketball tournament is now officially in the rearview mirror, and the women's side of the bracket led to a lot of controversy and discourse in the past week. But first things first, let's take you back to last Friday as the Griffins look to one-up the defending MIAA champions.
Friday Night Hoops is the MIAA tournament. Griffins are the 3 seed facing Fort Hays, the 6 seed, the Central Regional Final from last year. Take it to the first quarter. Connie Clark steps back and hits the 3, only her 3rd three-pointer of the season, believe it or not. She got off to such a good start in this game. Trinity Knapp gets the ball, feeds it to Clark in the paint. Gonna do some nice little footwork here and gets the basket to go. She had 10 points in the first quarter alone, but the Tigers would fight back. Great pass here to Katie Wagner down in the paint. They would take the lead 20-19 after the first quarter. Second quarter, same thing. All Tigers. Wagner, mid-range jumper, no good, but Olivia Hollenbeck with the rebound. How does she get that finish to go in? Somehow she does it. Last possession of the half for the Tigers. Katie Del Saver on the wing knocks it down. She had 12 points off the bench. A huge second quarter for the Tigers as they go up 42-26. But the Griffins, they've been here before. They know what it takes to come back against Fort Hays. Clark in the paint, driving, gets the finish. She had 23 in this one. Most since November. They needed every single one. Later on, Brianna Budgets, they needed her to get going as well. She got the basket. She's fired up. And the Griffins would get it to within 10 after 3 quarters. Would they be able to finish the comeback? Not sure what's going on here, but it's impressive nonetheless. Fourth quarter, though, Tigers would get back into things. The pass to Emma Ruddle knocks down the 3, and the Tigers would knock off the Griffins. The defending MIAA champions would live to see the semifinals. They would take it 71-62.
You watch a lot of teams that maybe reach a new level. There was something that fueled that, and typically it can be disappointment and falling short and understanding where you needed to be better, where you could be better, and to try to keep that from happening. I think UCM's a great story, and I remember seeing Brooks tweet as soon as we beat them last year. She was in the gym, and she made sure, right, that she was going to make sure her team was on the stage at the end of the year, and they've done that. So,
reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Harry Loomis.
And so began the controversy. The Griffins ended the season with a 24-7 record while finishing 3rd in quite possibly the best conference in Division II, the MIAA. Despite these high marks, they were not enough to earn a spot in the NCAA National Tournament. Just for comparison, as of Friday, March 10th, the Missouri men's basketball team sits a near identical 23-8 and is projected by most pundits to be a number 8 seed. They are guaranteed to get their ticket to the dance. It doesn't matter what they do in the SEC tournament. Now look, conference champions should get in. We're not questioning that. But the fact that the 8 regions are set up in a way that only 5 teams amongst, in Missouri Western's case, 3 conferences can receive at-large bids, that just doesn't seem right, especially considering different regions and their level of competition. And it's not just the Griffins either. That Fort Hays team that just beat Western, won last year's MIAA championship, and hosted last year's Central Regional, yeah, they didn't make it in either, despite also notching 20 wins. Look, anyone who covers Division II women's basketball will tell you that at least 6 MIAA teams are among the 64 best teams in the nation, and that includes head coach Candy Whitaker. On Monday, in a conversation with KFEQ's Tommy Rezach, Whitaker had a powerful statement against the NCAA saying, quote, "We should have 6 teams in this year. If we're going to preach student-athlete experience, what in the world are you doing if you're not going to allow kids to have the experience of a postseason when they deserve it?" End quote. In the end, 4 MIAA teams made the dance. Conference champion Missouri Southern, top 2 seeds Nebraska Kearney and Central Missouri, and maybe most disappointing to Griffin fans, Pittsburgh State. See, it was a season finale loss at the buzzer to Gorillas that put the Griffins in this spot. They knew that matchup was a crucial one for seeding, as both were fighting to stay in the tight 8-team Central Regional, even as chaos ensued with the Griffins and Gorillas falling as Missouri Southern came out of nowhere to win as the 5 seed. Pittsburgh State still made it in over Missouri Western with that 1 win. So you could say it's sour grapes on Missouri Western's part. You could say the format needs change. Say whatever you would like. But the fact remains that this extremely promising season for the Griffins is over. And all they can do now is to prepare themselves past this situation in 2024.
Griffin golf is officially back as of this past week. And what's a better way to start the spring season off? Well, by scoring a win, of course. Well, that's exactly what Marius Dossier did at the Maverick Desert Classic. The freshman shot 6 under par over the 2-day tournament for his first career win as a Griffin, and the Griffin team finished in 3rd place.
Griffin baseball is coming off a tough weekend sweep at the hands of Pittsburgh State. And after a Tuesday loss to Truman State, the Griffins could really use a win. Well, they'll have 3 chances this weekend, traveling to Wichita to face off with the Newman Jets.
Griffin tennis just keeps on cruising. On Saturday, the Griffins swept Southeast Minnesota State 7-0. Today, they clashed with Division I opponent Missouri State.
There's been no softball in the past week, but that changes this weekend. MIAA play heats up as the Griffins have 2 games at Fort Hays Sunday, followed by 2 at Nebraska Kearney on Monday.
And Lacrosse scored a big 11-5 win Sunday against Colorado Springs. Madison Brady led the way with 4 goals for the Griffins. The Griffins are back at it on Sunday, and it'll be a homecoming for some of the players as they travel to St. Louis, Missouri to play Maryville University.
And that's all for sports today. After the break, we'll preview what's coming up next week.
As fun as college is, it can be a really stressful time.
It's easy to feel alone.
Even in full classrooms, sometimes it still feels like you have no one.
It's especially easy to feel isolated during these crazy times.
It's hard to recognize the signs when you don't know them.
Don't be afraid to reach out and get help.
There are always ways to get help on campus.
The counseling center is always ready to work with you.
There's also lots of ways to get help off campus.
There are several different hotlines you can reach out to.
Make sure to check in on your friends and family.
Keep an eye out for the signs.
There's no shame in recognizing that you're struggling.
There's no shame in asking for help.
There is no shame in taking care of yourself.
You and your mental health are the priority.
See the signs. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
I'd really encourage, if you need to talk to someone, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
2,900 home clothes dryer fires are reported each year and cause an estimated 5 deaths, 100 injuries, and $35 million in property loss. When we hear the words home fire prevention, we often think of lit candles, grease fires, and electrical fires. However, one of the most common house fires comes from unclean dryer vents. Dryer lint is highly flammable. It is recommended the dryer vents are cleaned every 6 months. Call your local HVAC services or fire department for more information on how to clean your vents.
Coming up on Friday, March 17th, we'll be covering some new rules from Res Life.
And Kanan and I will have your Griffin sports update, and we'll also be talking about March Madness.
Be sure to stay up to date with all things KGSM-TV by following the Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you again next week.